My name is Frank Collada. I am the last living gangster in Las Vegas. $360,000 armed robbery that I committed and got away with. So I put 6 bullets into his head. And he ran. I looked at the gun like, did I miss this guy? I knew it was pressed against his head. He was scared. I don't blame him. I met him in Stateville Penitentiary. And once a week he would kill an inmate. We just put him in a bag, and nobody ever said anything about it. It was just another guy who committed suicide. I was a product of my environment. I didn't know any better.
We're starting a couple of minutes late because, well, we've had some phone calls, let's just say. Anyway, today is Chicago outfit corruption. Politicians, we're talking police officers, and Red Wemette's with us today. So, Mob Vlog, welcome back. Wow, hey. That worked. That worked really well. Well, I'll be. So, my screen is completely locked up right now.
Yeah, I had a problem. I couldn't hear your sound. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Okay. I don't know what they're hearing.
Wow. Are you there? Red?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great. Perfect. I can hear you. Welcome back. Wow. What the hell?
We're having technical difficulties.
Oh my God. What the heck's going on here? I have no idea.
You're going in and out.
I have no idea. The computer's acting a little funny, guys. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay. I'm really sorry. I have no idea what the hell just happened. Okay, so I think everything is working now. I think my computer just had a hiccup, I guess. Anyway, hey everybody, Pam,
John, all you guys,
Tom, Tim, Matt, Dazzling Urbanite, Don Chachio D. Pizzalo. No, it was close. I know I was close that time. Anyway, hey, how you guys doing? Will Rahardo, good to see you guys. All right.
Hi, how you doing, Cindy?
Cindy's in the room. All right, everyone. So, Red, we're talking about Chicago outfit corruption, and in Chicago, obviously the politicians, the police officers, the judges. There was a lot of corruption, and the outfit was involved with all of this. Basically, bought and paid for some of these guys, right?
All the way from City Hall to the politicians, all the way into the courtrooms and the judges, and not every judge. There are some judges that wouldn't take, but you stayed away from those. My experience was with a lot of coppers that were on the take. You know, you didn't even have to really buy them. You didn't have to spend a lot of money on them. But the courtroom at 321 North LaSalle, that was a joke. That was really a joke. It really was. I had police come in there that arrested somebody on legitimate beef, and they used to come back to me and say, man, JJ O'Donnell, he was a judge, he chewed us out and made us look like animals, and he let the guys go. And I said, well, you went the wrong way.
I heard they were pretty brutal back then, the cops and all. I mean, it wasn't they didn't have body cams, in other words.
No, they did a lot of things. I got worked over once or twice when I was young, but Later on, I knew you just, you reach for your money. Never carry your money in your wallet. Always carry it in your pocket. Have something extra in your pocket.
Right.
I did a couple of bedtime videos on cops I paid off.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of those. If you guys haven't seen Red's channel, be sure to go over and check it out. He has some stories about a lot of different things there. Homer Bryant, though, is asking if you knew the mob lawyer Cooley.
I didn't know him, but I saw him several times, and Bob Cooley was probably, I don't know, he was an 8-ball. He was he was instrumental for that operation. He really was. His book, what's the name of it again? I think we mentioned it once before. When Corruption Was King is the book he wrote. And it's kind of interesting because he makes himself out to look like he walked in and just volunteered his services like I did. And the truth of the matter was he was under indictment at the time. He was going to be under indictment. They made a deal. And the deal was with IRS, Internal Revenue. But he owed the mob money, and he owed Internal Revenue. So the best place to do is turn informant and wear a wire. And he did. He wore a wire on a lot of people. He put his life at risk. He really did. A couple times he had problems. Where the wire was uncomfortable, the Niagara that he was wearing, he had a problem with that. But that was a long coming thing. I mean, it was I think it started like maybe 3 or 4 years before it actually, got the indictments came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good era in Chicago to start cleaning house, I guess. But it was all the way through Cook County, and it went all the way downstate. I mean, anywhere you went, you could fix something. You just had to know the right person. The right lawyer or the right mob guy. Because the right mob guy would send you to the right lawyer. Oh, you got a problem with that? Here, go see this guy. He'll take care of it for you.
And that all came out in Operation Greylord. That was all exposed. The whole state was all wound up. Cindy, did y'all know Stu Unger?
No, I didn't.
Stu Unger was a World Poker Tournament champion. He won it twice back to back. And Stu Unger died of a drug overdose at the Oasis Motel on Las Vegas Boulevard. I don't know why you asked about Stu Unger, but that's what I know about Stu Unger. So I got beat up a couple of times by cops back in the 70s. A kid, white in the neighborhood, was beaten to death by cops. They put him in a cell instead of a hospital after the beating.
Yeah, that happened several times. That happened a lot. It happened at districts. It was at a district where it happened. They didn't actually send it to county, but it was at a district. And they just take and lock you in a cell. And all of a sudden, he hung himself, or this happened, or that happened. A lot of stories at the papers. Their press releases made it sound like there was nothing there.
Huh.
But the cops, some of the cops were brutal. I think I told you about Gargano and Durso, Tommy Durso and Gargano. And I think you told me that those are the police that held Frank out the window.
Yeah. He ran into him in jail later on.
That had to be a joke.
Yeah, they ran. I guess he busted a chair over one of them in jail. And yeah. So Donald Berlin, let's talk a bit of corruption right out of the gate. Would be the first ward, starring Fred Roddy, John DiArco, and of course Pat Marcy.
DeLeo DiArco were a law firm, and DiArco, they fixed everything. There wasn't anything they couldn't fix. And Pat Marcy, he was at the top. I mean, he was like somebody Tony Accardo would talk to. I think it was a made guy. I believe he was. Everybody said he was. Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Wow. Cindy, he owed money, and Tony beat him for bringing a gun to his house. He owed him money. And, oh, I see. Stu Unger owed Tony Spilatro money and beat him for bringing a gun to his house. That sounds familiar. That story for some.
That was a rule. You never brought guns. Nobody ever came to my home with a gun unless it was a cop. And I had cops like Jim Schiffer that came to my home, And they'd always take their pistols out and put them on the coffee table, the end table when they talked to me. You know, when we were just bullshitting, you know.
Yeah.
But a funny thing about that was Jim Schiffer put his pistol out, and I was collecting rounds from the police department at the range, like thousands of rounds of ammunition, hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammunition. And I looked at his pistol. He worked at the range. And I looked at his pistol, and as I was looking at it, it wasn't loaded. And I said, Jim, you know that's not loaded? And he said, yeah, sure it is. And he looked at it. He finally picked it up and looked at it. And he says, damn. He says, I've been running around with an unloaded gun for like a week. You know?
Right.
A little snub nose. But at any rate, the real funny part was he turned around and asked me, he says, do you have any ammunition? He said, I don't have any. And I said, yeah, I think I got a little.
It's just a bit
said,
laying around.
You want? And he says, just 6 rounds. That's all I need.
Not needing a whole lot.
No.
So Kissy Cat. I think it was Kissy Cat that I saw here on the side. I'll get to your question in a minute. Jim Yeager, were Fred Roddy and Pat Marcy, were they made men in Chicago outfit, Pat Marcy and Fred?
Pat was. I think his real name was Pasquale. It was an Italian name. He changed it to Pat Marcy. Mm-hmm. And I always thought he was Irish because the name Marcy. As a matter of fact, I knew his nephew. His whole family worked for the city of Chicago or Cook County. I mean, everybody in his family. His nephew worked at the building department, building and zoning. If I had problems up there with building something, I'd take it to Roger, and Roger would go, okay, it's done.
Nice.
I didn't even have to pay him. He just knew I was on the in crowd, so that's the way it was.
Kissy Cat, it's off subject, but the woman politician in the Casino movie, was she killed for not going along? So that she wasn't a politician. She was in real life, that was supposed to be Tamara Rand, and she was
she won
business partners with Alan Glick.
And so, she won the preliminary hearing on the lawsuit, and before they could do anything, as partners of the Tangiers Corporation in the movie,
right?
It would have been what was the name of the I forgot it, but anyway, it would have been the Stardust and everything else, Hacienda and all those. But before it could get executed, she was executed.
Right. Right. And if you guys read the book, The Rise and the Fall of the Casino Mobster, Frank, and Frank's book here, he talks about who he thinks it was, or who Tony told him did it.
The movie makes it look like
Tony did it,
and he didn't.
Right.
He didn't go out on hits, son. He was too old.
Don Berlin. Pasquale Marchand.
Yes.
Okay. Pasquale Marchand.
That was Pat Marcy.
Okay, got it. Pat Marcy had a very Italian sounding name, but he changed it to Pat Marcy. I see. Yeah. It sounded Irish to me. He was supposedly made man, and he was a gunner for Al Capone as well.
He was friendly with all the Irish politicians. Daley. I mean, all those people, they were, beholding to him in some way or another.
Yeah.
That's the original Daley. That died in 1977. But it still went on.
Yeah. So, Homan Sanders, was the outfit involved with any Chicago sports teams? Do you know?
No, I really don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay. Roddy's father was a boss in Bridgeport?
Yes, he was.
Okay. So, hey guys, I got a couple of emails, and you guys wanted to know what was going on with the website, because we had frankcolada.com up. So you guys know, it has been, the URL is pointed toward a new mob site, or a new website rather, and it's called mobmento.com. And looks something like this right here.
Wow.
Yes. And on this mobmento.com, if you go to the shop, there are some items available. And these items are, they're mob mentos. That's why we called it Mobmento, like memento, but, mob stuff. Some of it mob stuff, some of it's other things like I Love Lucy signed checks, the Frank Collada thumbprint card, the Frank Collada autographed gun, fingerprint cards. There's the Henry Hill ice pick. There's a Bonanno piece that we're putting up here later on today that's going to be up. So anyway, there's some really cool autographed and framed mob mentos that are on this site, and it's going to be growing. There's a whole lot more coming. So if you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to stroll over there and check it out. So at some point, anyhow.
Hit that like button, folks.
Oh, yeah. And hit the like button.
Hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button too, guys. Don't forget to do that. Dave Grimp grew up in Elmwood Park. Did you grew up in Elmwood Park? Dave's one actually that emailed me about the website.
He actually sent me an email too, Dave. He left me a sign on the on one of my videos, and he said, "Would you give me your email address?" And I said, "Leave yours." And then I deleted it afterwards. I did email. Thank you, Dave. I got your email this morning. I looked at it.
Okay, so Art Vandalay. Isn't that George Costanza's name in Seinfeld? Art Vandalay, Vandalay Industries.
Yeah,
I think it is. Anyway, in Jimmy Fradiano's book, he claims that Frank
Bompacero, the Bomp, the
Bompacero,
Bop,
Bompacero, and Tony Spilotro were involved in the Tamarand killing. Frank Bompacero lived in San Diego, supposedly knew the area, and was the drive. So Art Vandalay, I think that it's interesting.
They were from Cleveland. They were from Cleveland, but they did a lot of murders out there in California and all the way around in that area.
Okay, so busy guys out there. Art Vandalay, yeah, it is Art Vandalay. You're laughing about it. So Cindy Workman, according to Frank Calabrese Jr., he said, yes, the outfit did take part of sports.
Sports betting I know about, but not actually involved with the players and the teams. Sports betting, yes. But sports, they didn't own anybody as far as inside the teams. That was too highline. I mean, if somebody went before the press cameras or something like that, and they were always after them, sportscasters, and they even even dropped a hint that there was something going on, it wouldn't have stopped, Cindy. It would have stopped right then. But I didn't know. Maybe it did. And maybe it's something I don't know about. I don't know everything. I'll tell you that much. I'm learning more and more as I go.
So Jim Yeager, you asked about Alan Glick. Said, what do you think Alan Glick's up to nowadays? What do you think why do you think the outfit didn't kill Alan Glick? And I'm just jumping over here. He was born in 1942. I don't know if he died. He could still be alive.
He went into witness protection. Alan Glick went into witness protection, and he had U.S. Marshals around him all the time when everybody was in an uproar over casinos. He testified for the government.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Huh. Wow. So there you go, Jim Yeager.
I think the last time he was cited was in California, in San Diego.
So that's why they didn't kill him, because they couldn't find him.
Right.
There you go.
Now he's yesterday's news. It's like going after killing Frank Collada. Nobody really cared. They were all gone. I mean, why buy some more trouble out of revenge? It wasn't worth it.
Right, exactly.
90% of the time, they only killed or committed murders when they wanted to stop something from happening, a court action or something else. 90% of the time. Or they wanted to take somebody's money. And there's nothing to take from Alan anymore.
Bruce City, Alan Glick, my educated guess, he never goes to vacation in Kansas City.
No, I don't think so either.
That's funny. Okay, Phil Hadaway has a question. Is Tamarand the same blonde girl that shows up in Google image page? It appears that one was alive in the 80s. Tamarand, I don't know.
I've never seen a picture of her, a real picture.
No, I think the one that you're looking at here is actually, I think this is Tamara Rand, the psychic that you're seeing,
Right.
when you're going through that, the blonde. So no, that's not the same Tamara Rand. There, but thanks for asking, Phil. All right, so
What's his name? L something.
I'm sorry, what's that?
The guy who asked a question here or made a comment. Goth's his last name.
Hadaway.
Yeah.
Yes, Phil Hadaway. Okay, Alan. No, Alaric Goth. Glick is still alive in San Diego. There's a recent picture of him.
Well,
oh, really?
I said that's the last time he was spotted.
Okay.
He's got a bald head.
Today, recent.
He didn't have much hair back then.
Yeah, so you could Google it. It pops up.
But he outlived them all. He outlived them all. You know?
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so Matt Fowler, do you know what most favored methods were to entrap? Honeypots, straightforward bribes, blackmail?
Muscle. Somebody come and see you. Somebody come and see you and tell you whatever they were, that they wanted money because of.
I mean, I think Matt's asking more of how did they entrap like the judges or, right? To get them to go along with them. Did they blackmail them? Did they get them, pictures of them doing things?
Yeah, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Extramarital affairs, all different kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like J. Edgar Hoover said, any weak link, he wouldn't have anybody in the FBI that wasn't squeaky clean. But nobody was squeaky clean in Chicago. Right. They always had some problems. But there's an old trick, and it really is an old trick. Once some guy takes $10 from you, or $5, anything, you buy him lunch, you own him. That's it. He can't refuse the second time. Because you can say, hey, wait a second. You took from me once. You're not going to take from me this time? Get it right, It's not that way. Now, there might have been some threats of violence included with that, but basically that's what really happened.
Huh.
Back in my day, anyway.
Yeah, I suppose it's just all down and dirty,
Oh, once
everything goes.
Bribe somebody, how can they say no the second time,
Right.
Or they give a trip to Las Vegas. Here's a trip for you. That happened a lot of times too. They say, go out on us, have a good time. They comp them at a hotel and everything, and bang, all of a sudden you own them. I believe that happened in Casino. They kind of made a deal with Rosenthal's hearing where the senator was head of the or on the what is it, gambling commission or whatever the hearing he had. And the senator, he got up and said, you didn't count me I comped you at the hotel. He did. Right. He actually did, but the guy turned on him.
That was Harry Reid.
Right.
Which
and
they
Harry
want to name.
Was dirty. Harry Reid was dirty.
Yeah, they want to name our airport after now. They want to take McCarran Airport and change it to the Harry Reid Airport. Unbelievable. What the hell's next, Well,
that's like O'Hare Airport. O'Hare was actually murdered, but they named the airport after his son, who was a war hero.
Wow. But
he was actually murdered by the mob.
Well, Dick Smothers played Harry Reid. He portrayed him in the movie Casino. And, in the beginning of the movie, he walks in, everything's comped. He gets up to the room. There's
got a lady with him.
got the lady in the, no, she was waiting for him. That was comped as well. That was comped. So
but he had his chips and everything. He put them on the nightstand and everything. Yeah, he was, they took care of him.
Oh,
and
yes.
One time. I'm talking about many times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's he's supposed to be a good Mormon that doesn't.
He was a Mormon.
Yeah, he's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be a good Mormon, doesn't do any of that. Dirty Harry Reid. I like that. Dirty Harry Reid. Okay, Arthur Vandelay. Back to Art Vandelay. Vandelay Industries. In the documentary 75th Precinct, the cops echoed what Red said. The first time you expect cash, there's really no turning back.
That's right.
Yeah. The first time you accept, not expect, accept.
Right.
That was a typo there. Anyhow,
Thank you, Art.
okay. Off topic, onto Tony Spilotro. Why was Spilotro a Casanova with the ladies?
He was gifted.
Gifted. Why do you go like this when you say he was gifted? He was gifted?
I don't know.
What's that about?
They say he was gifted.
Okay.
He was a good-looking man. He was a good-looking man. He was also very dapper. He had a way of talking to people. He was very good at it.
Right. He was a schmoozer.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Kissy Cat, they're dirtier in Texas. The attorney general is under indictment. Nothing happens to them ever. No, nothing does.
Well, that's all over the country. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay, Lisa, good question. Lisa, what did you have to, do you remember what you had to pay as a street tax on your business?
Yes. It started out as $500 a week for the back room. And later on, I bought out Alva Johnson Rogers, who used to actually pick up the money. And he told me, he said, if you give me $1,500, I'm going to blow town. And he did. He blew town. He testified to get going. But when he did, it went down to $250 a week.
Okay.
So it was like $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Half. So Marshall came by to pick it up after that. And when he came by himself, it was only $250.
Yeah. Okay. So it changed. It's fun. It's just hilarious because I'm sorry. You said he was gifted. Okay. Back to that. Every girl popped
Well,
up
they
in
told
the
me
comments.
Frank Collada made reference to that too when he said he was at the one of your videos with him. He said he was at the draft board or something like that down at the draft board, and he said Tony, he was he made comments about it.
I don't recall that. I guess maybe Cindy.
I never saw him naked. I never saw him naked, but Frank obviously didn't look over. He said, "Wow."
Cindy Workman said he had a big pistol.
That's what they said, Cindy.
Pam Rudnick said he had charisma. Lisa, I heard that about Lisa Kettler. I heard that about Tony. Well, all of them. He had an alpha male aura. Yeah, you spelled that right, Pam. Well, you spelled it well enough for me to know what it means.
Yeah.
Let's see. Audio Addict. Chicago outfit equals Lightfoot and Friends.
That's now.
Yeah.
That's now.
Yeah. Boss Lightfoot.
I always think of Chicago. I think of Patty Bauer when he got up and said, "This town isn't ready for reform." And that was way back in the 40s.
Okay.
It still hasn't changed. It's in the millennium's changed, and it still hasn't changed. It's not going to reform.
Yeah. Hey, John McShane. So wants to know, have you guys ever read Double Cross? I have not. What are your thoughts if you have?
I have, and I liked it a lot. There's some things I didn't agree with it, but they were small details. They weren't really big details. I thought it was pretty much spot on.
What'd you like most about the book?
It was like a documentary. It was kind of factual.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I believe it was done by Sam Giancana's nephew, and somebody else in the family did it. But it was a co-authored book. But I liked it because I recognized the places. I recognized what happened. I lived through that part of history, so I remember part of it.
Okay. Interesting.
Ghana and Mexico and the whole deal about Iran and how he didn't pay Tony Accardo a dime when he came back. He said, "This is my money. You can't have it."
Right. Kissy Cat, they won't let us vote on gambling in Texas. I encourage everyone to photograph politicians traveling in Vegas and post on Facebook. I think I read something about this, a little blip that came across on my phone about this.
It was on the news yesterday.
Yeah. about everybody going to Vegas for some reason. They something about their legislature was refusing to meet or something. Instead, they were going to Vegas.
Well, they stopped the quorum.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe they went to D.C. And now they issued warrants for their arrest.
Barnyard, yes, we are here. We're live. You're catching us live right now. Brett, Tony Spilotro, the real Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. That's funny. That's funny. Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Holy.
It was more than a rumor. I mean, people used to joke about it. So,
Pam Rudnick, I don't know if you know this. Do you know if Annette Giancana is still here?
Yes.
Didn't you say that? I don't want to say anything because I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything. I don't want to say anything about it. But yeah, she's still around. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, I don't know what this means, but Jay has asked, do you think Mike Sarno is going to get released? What are your thoughts that his lawyer is the grandson of the former outfit boss, Vito Spallone?
Yes. No, I don't think he'll be released. He's gone for a compassionate release 3 or 4 times and it's been turned down. But it never hurts to keep trying.
Jim Yeager, has Red ever watched the documentary about Sam Giancana that Nick Silozzi Jr. produced? Giancana's daughters were in it.
Yes, I have. Yes,
Good?
I have. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Okay. Kissy Cat, I wasn't talking about the Dems. I didn't see. John McShane says Texas Dems left for DC. I don't know. I didn't catch. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been watching the news. I haven't been watching the news really. I've been, and it's not. Well, yeah, but I haven't been watching the news because I've been busy. I've been busy with doing tours right now, and I mean we've been slammed. And not just with the mob tours, but also the ghost tours. So it's morning tours, evening tours. And in case you haven't heard, we did reopen the Vegas mob tour.
Yo, Hugsy, it says here they got something called the Vegas Mob Tour.
Yeah, Bobby, ain't you heard? It's all about our old friends Sam Giancana, Meyer Lansky, Mo Dalis, and of course yours truly, Bugsy Siegel.
Are you kidding? A mob tour about us?
Yeah, they take you to where we used to hang out and to all the places where we used to do our crimes.
You mean they expose all our secrets?
Yeah, but it's okay, because we ain't around anymore. So let's face it, we can't get busted.
Hey, you think we could sneak on board and check this out?
Of course we can. Forget about it. They'll never even know we're there.
Yeah, so Pam,
Real ghosts.
real ghosts.
They'll never know we're there.
Will you be driving when I go on the tours? It depends when you go on the tours, Pam. Possibly. I mean, right now I am. I'm doing a lot of the lifting right now. Let's just say. So I mean, not lifting because I shouldn't be lifting a lot, but anyway. Lisa Kettler, is there a place for mobsters in heaven? Have Tony and Frank made up? After all, I always hear it was just business. I'm sure there is, Lisa. I'm sure there is. Why did Ren turn down witness protection, and how did he sleep and handle the stress? Ricky Grand wants to know.
Why did I turn down witness protection? Obviously, you've never talked to a U.S. Marshal. They actually take everything away from you. Anything that has a serial number, a television set, definitely firearms. They take everything away from you, and they put you in some cowtown town, like they did Frank. They put him in all those places and stuff like that. And I said, no, I'm not doing that, because I was promised that I would go through the undercover division of the FBI. I was promised that.
Mm-hmm.
They told me, I said, I'm never going into witness protection. So when the time came, That's why I did it. Did it bother me? No, it really didn't bother me. If you read my book, you'll see that.
I've not heard anything about this, but John McShane is saying that Michael Mann is developing a movie, a picture about Giancana and Accardo.
I've heard rumors about that, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh, there you go. Well, this was announced in 2016. Michael Mann planning Chicago mob movie modeled after novelization. He was also planning.
Michael Mann did all novels. He made them all novels. They were based on facts, but it's like Thief. It was based on facts, but he changed the names and certain things.
Cindy, y'all do the Underground House tour with Adam. It's a really cool tour, Cindy, isn't it? I mean, you just can't describe what that place is like until you're actually there, and you go, "What is this?" It'll be on the site soon, everybody, if you want to take a look.
Oh, that'll be fun if you put that up where people can see.
Well, we're going to start booking them as private only, but they're yeah. Julio Ruz, what was the outfit involved with road construction in Chicago?
Oh yeah. Any contract bids, any bids that were done through the city, it was all unionized. So they had to go through the union. When they put out a bid, the bids were rigged. I mean, it wasn't the lowest bid that got it, or it wasn't the highest bid that got it. It was the one that they wanted to get it.
Okay. That's how it still works to this day. I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, still works that way. Paul Brown, hey, Red, did the outfit pay any cops to do hits?
Yes. Durso and Gargano. There's one right for you right there.
There you go. Or if you're familiar with New York police, you have Louis Ippolito and Stephen Caracappa. Those are two guys that did a ton of they did over 20 contract killings while they were officers. And the Mook got caught because he wrote a book about being a cop and then got on Sally Jesse Raphael to do an interview. And some lady he killed their son recognized him. Cindy Workman, thank you very much for that contribution. That's very, very nice of you. Ever hear of concrete shoes? Yes.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people went on, not a lot of people. There were some people that went out on Lake Michigan on a boat, and they actually put their feet in 5-gallon buckets with cement, and they let it dry while they were going out. And
what a horrible thing to sit there and have happen.
Going to the bottom like an anchor.
What a horrible thing, the whole ride out there. You know what's going to happen. That's got to be a horrific. Just put a bullet in my head.
Tied to a
Come
chair.
on.
Tied to a chair. Know what's going to happen.
That's what I mean. Jeez. Holy Christ. These thoughts just, what I like doing this and talking, but sometimes the stuff that gets talked, I think about it and I like it, Grievous. I'm going to use that. Kara Crapper, Stephen Kara Crapper. I like it. That's funny. Pam Rudnick, fish food. Lake Michigan's full of them. Yes, I it's from what I understand. That's what I hear. Yeah. Ippolito was related to a guy in the mafia. His father was related in the Gambino crime family, and failed to mention that when he was being hired and interviewed, I guess.
We had some in Chicago.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, we did. I ran across 2 or 3 of them.
Barnyard, Mike Sarno's a good man. I met him FCI in Lexington. Jackie Cerrone, Gus Alex, and Mike Sarno was at the poker table every night in the yard. And I've talked to Barnyard before. Barnyard's I think he's in Kentucky. And he said that he met him in prison. He knew Jackie Cerrone as well, and all these. It's pretty interesting. So Pam Rudnick, Adam, you didn't read what I said to you. I did. Lake Michigan's full of them. Fish food. Hey, I think that's all the things that you said, Pam. Cool. I'm going back. Adam, you look cool in the video. You look like Al Capone's bodyguard. I hate to ruin this. Okay, I really do, because every one of you believes it, but that's not me in the video. Okay, so I said it.
It looks like you.
Sure does, doesn't it? Okay, Chad Blocklinger. Did Frank Schweiss and Wayne Bach do a hit on Don Arano, cigar boat builder?
Don Arno in that was Broward County, Florida. Yeah, at Gasoline Alley. The cigarette boat king. They actually murdered them together, and I was on a blog about that. I work because after Schweiss went away and everything, and then Richard Burdick wrote a book about it, which detailed everything, called Blue Thunder. And Frank Schweiss actually sued Simon and Schuster, who wrote, they published a book, and Dick Burdick went into witness protection. But the suit didn't go anywhere. It's a defamation of character, and he was doing it from prison. He filed the suit from prison, and it said it defamed his character.
Huh.
Tapes had already been played in court where he talked about murders that he committed, and I'm going out of town to make a hit and stuff like that. So it was, there was no real basis for his lawsuit.
JC M. Cali, West Coast Connection. One thing I like about this mobcast are the fans are real people instead of bots. They are real people too. And it seems like we, have at least a handful of almost every week people that are in here. So Bruce City saying that JCM Cali runs a true crime podcast. I've never seen your podcast, but I'll definitely check it out. So thanks for that. Appreciate it, JC. And we're live, and we talk Chicago outfit here. That's what we always center on and stay on. So do you ever have any scraps with mob guys? Grievous wants to know.
No, I knew my place and I stayed in it, and there was no reason for it to ever happen. And besides that, a lot of people know I was connected with this guy or that guy or this guy, and they just didn't want it. Like, people knew I was with Tony when I went over to that car dealership. Everybody ducked. I mean, they thought, oh my God, he's in from Vegas. Come on, give me a break. And that was Jackie Cerrone's nephew. So,
right. Thanks, Johan Hermans. Appreciate that. And Mr. Fugazi, good to have you with us, Mr. Fugazi. Patrick Lilly wants to know, can you talk about the outfit currently? How many made men are still around? Grand Avenue?
I can't. Somebody asked me that question recently, and I told them there is no outfit anymore. Because they asked me, they said, who's boss on the streets? And I said, anybody that walks the street is their own boss now. There's nobody to kick up to. I mean, some people may say they're outfit or they're outfit guys, but really they're not kicking up to the bosses. It's not like the old way. It's just not like that.
It's not as organized.
They're not organized. They're criminals that are still left over, and they call themselves the outfit. They're younger people.
They're
living off a name. That's all.
What the hell can you do and get away with nowadays? I mean,
drugs. They're selling a lot of drugs on the streets in Chicago. A lot of drugs.
Yeah. Chad Blocklinger. There's stuff all over the internet, man. I have no idea. JC, last time I saw you was when Frank Collada was alive. God rest his soul. Thanks for keeping this thing going. You got it, JC. I'm glad that you tuning in and checking it out. We're still, we talk Chicago here, guys, and it's live. So when you make it,
like it, JC. Yeah. Come on, you'll get notified next time.
Yeah, hit the hit the like button, guys. Get it out there, and Red Don Berlin wants to know, can you talk about why and how you broke off your relationship with the FBI?
Yeah, I can. I had some difficulties with the agents that I was working with. And after 1990, I just let it go. I didn't want anything to do with them. And actually, I worked with the ATF then. But after that, that really pissed them off. But then, like I said, Mitch Mars, I talk about in my book, Mitch Mars, actually, Tom Moriarty gave me a call and said, Mitch wants to talk to you. He's a prosecutor for Strike Force. And he told me about Family Secrets. That was in 2000, the year 2000. And so I called him and talked to him, and he said he was going to send some investigators to see me. And I said, don't tell me they're FBI. And he said, yeah. And so I said, I don't want to see any FBI. And he said, I promise you, you won't have any problems with these guys. And I didn't. That was Chris Mackey and Ted McNamara. And they were total gentlemen. I didn't have any problems with them.
Sean Hakkarainen. Sean Hakkarainen. How many years did you get to sit and listen to his fascinating stories? So I'll tell you, with Frank, I spent the last 4 years running the tour company, and Frank and I would talk we'd probably get together once a week for lunch, and he would tell me stories, and that went on and off for the first 2 years or so. And then when I was telling Allie, I was like, Frank told me a story about this guy, this Mad Sam, or this Johnny No Nose, or another story about Tony. All these stories, and it was one after another, and a lot of them we sat at the Pepper Mill, and because that's where one of the places we like to have lunch and coffee and sit there and for an hour or two after eating. And I hear these stories, and I said, we got to start documenting them. And Allie said, let's do a YouTube, and that's it. So I got to listen to him for quite a bit, for quite a bit.
I can hear you saying, quick, get the camera.
Yeah. Now, Lewis has some stories because Lewis stayed with Frank for like 4 years, he was helping him and, working with him. He was, yeah. So he saw him just about every day, and he had a lot of cool stories. Anyway, does Red still inform on people?
No.
Okay. Barnyard, I'll read this. I used to sing at the poker table, and I asked Jackie Cerrone, if he could get me a job singing in Chicago. He replied that his people don't like hillbilly music. He said, you come there, and me and Gus will feed you. He said, you come there, me and Gus will feed you. Gus Alex. So that's who he's talking about. I didn't know you
asked a question down here that I want to answer.
Tony Padula?
Yeah, he's always busting my balls anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and answer this one. Tony, more than you could count. I have a lot of friends. A lot of friends. A lot of people love me. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's because I treat them good, and they treat me good. They bring me dinner at my home. They take me out to eat. A lot of things. So I have a lot of good friends. I have friends that I've had for 35 years, 40 years, but they're dying off little by little.
Right. Where is Lewis? Lewis has been working. Lewis has a little shop, and he's been working. But yeah, Lewis is great. I talked to him the other day. So did the outfit control garbage hauling in Chicago, like the Five Families in New York?
Every bit of it. And actually, most of the places were out in like Hillside or out in the area out southwest, and the garbage companies. And I remember all of them, because if you wanted to go to one, they had different rates, commercial rates, and I had commercial property, so I had to use a commercial. But at any rate, they were usually they weren't outfit guys themselves. They just controlled the businesses. They owned their own business, but they controlled it through the Teamsters and then through the mob. So they got a piece of the action on everything. Wherever there was money, there was the mob.
Sure. Wherever there's money, there's going to be crime, especially that kind of money.
There was a lot of money.
Enjoy your blogs very much. Thanks for keeping Frank's personality alive. Met him in Vegas a couple of years ago while doing a photo shoot at a hotel. Have some great pics of him speaking. Best email for you. You can email me at Adam. It's Adam at VegasSpecialtyTours.com. That's where you can email me. So, Red, I'm curious to hear what you know about Richard Kane.
Well, now I only know the things that I read about, but at the time I was there when he was murdered. I was coming down Grand Avenue. I wrote about that also. I was coming down Grand Avenue and going eastbound, and I saw Frank Schweiss outside the building. And I had been there to eat a couple times at we called it a sandwich shop or grill. We called it a grill. Now, some people call it a sandwich shop, Rosie's. But there was a man on the roof. He had a walkie-talkie. And all of a sudden I heard this boom. And some guy ran out the back door. I don't know who it was. They said it was a police officer. And I didn't stop. I figured this is not the place to be.
Right.
That's about all I know about him.
Oh,
Tony says his godfather was Frank Schweiss.
That's what he's saying. He says he says I'll admit it's my job to bust your balls. The German was my godfather, so I'm doing him proud.
He would have busted my balls too. He really would have.
Well, it all makes sense now, Tony. Right? It all makes sense. So, Lexi Johnson, it's good to see you. John McShane, thanks for tuning in here. And Michael Randolph wants to know, how's it? It's good. Did you ever meet the Jewelers? They were always at the racetrack.
No.
Okay. So, all right, guys, in the comments, we want to hear
what the crowd that I met at the racetrack. They weren't Jewelers, I'll tell you that much.
Pam, do I drive the tour buses? Pam, I own the company. I have to do everything. So do I guide the tours? Yes. Do I drive the buses? Yes. Do I answer the phones? Yes. Do I set the websites up? Yes. Do I check the emails? Yes. Do I do all of it, Pam?
It's a one-man show, Pam.
Why I'm so darn busy. So, and Pam, I don't want to put anybody's business out there that's not that I, because that's his business, what he does. So I don't want to.
On a show, I asked, "Hey, Red, did you know Albert Vienna?" Yes, I did. I wrote about that too. I met him in the alley by Wagon Master was on one side, and on the other side was Phil Amato's home. And I was going back there to see somebody. I was, and he was in the car. It was late at night. It was dark out. And they were out on the street, him and Philly Kozo and a bunch of other kids. They were on the street cleaning the neighborhood, so to speak. And they wanted to know who I was. And as soon as Philly recognized me, I said, "I'm here to see your dad." And he said, "Oh." And he said, "That's Red. He's okay." And that's when I first met him.
Okay.
He's a protege of Frank Schweiss's.
Got it. Did you ever see the German in Lederhosen asking for a friend?
No.
Pablo.
No.
Okay. Never going out to Oktoberfest and had his Lederhosen on and
No.
Okay.
He was a tough guy, man. He was really a tough guy. He wasn't
tough guys wear Lederhosen, There's a German, and they drink the beers and they dance, they do all those crazy dances and they clap in and all of that. And
believe it or not, there was more of a Italian side to him than there was a German.
No, okay, well, anyhow, okay,
His
guys.
father was German, his mother was Sicilian.
In the comment, okay, guys. Oh my gosh, now Brett's going, "What's Lederhosen?" Okay, so there. That is. Let me just get. There we go. Here you go, Brett. That's what Lederhosen is, right there. Okay. That's what they wear, and Oktoberfest whenever the drink the beer, and the girls wear something like this. Actually, they have a dress thing that they wear. I forget what it's called. And anyway, yeah, that's lederhosen. It's not tights. It's not. It's leather. It's a leather thing.
Frank wanted to go unnoticed, and I think he would get very noticed wearing that.
Okay.
He liked to blend in.
Stu Unger worked with Tony Spilatro, Nick Macy. Yes, I did hear that. I heard something about that. And why is that all ringing a bell? Because somebody asked about that earlier. Anyhow, okay. So
David Bowman spoke about it.
Did David Bowman?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So maybe that's where I heard it. Where it was. All right, what are we doing next week, guys? In the comments, let's hear your ideas. What you want to hear about next week? What kind of subject you want to stick around? It has to do with the Chicago outfit. Remember that part, because if it doesn't, we're going to get off topic. And
how about
you guys,
favorite restaurants where guys used to congregate at?
Restaurants, spots,
Yeah,
social clubs,
yes.
those types of things. Yeah. That's an interesting one.
Are we going ones and twos again?
Well, I have a little bit of footage from when I was in Chicago. I hung out with DPN for a day, and we took some footage of a few different places. I think I played some of it.
The hot dog place. Trying to think of it in Elmwood Park, and then you took Richard's Bar. There were a lot of places.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, but the other hangout that we went to was the social club across from. It was Nooch Lombardo across from his house. So I have a little footage of that. And I have the, where else did we go? The Calabrese compound. And we went to wherever it was that DeFranzo was on the news, where they had him on the news coming out of that meeting, out of that restaurant. We were there. So I have a little bit of that.
There were Sally's on Harlem Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys used to get together there. I mean, and somebody mentioned the Seven Dwarfs, the restaurant, the Seven Dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of times there were meetings there.
Okay, maybe that's what they were talking about. So, history of the Grand Avenue crew. Gary Mushinsky thinks that would be a good idea. Hey, Bruce City. So that's what I wear in Milwaukee during the summer, as half black, half German. I wear the funny hats too. Seriously, that's great. I love it. The Heist in Chicago, Rosebud, mob hangouts, Cicero corruption would be a good subject.
Yeah.
Al Capone, yes, restaurants. Edmondson, yes, restaurants. David Grimp, yes, restaurants. Pal Joey's, Michael Randolph. Pal Joey's, is that another restaurant? Rush Street. Yes, hangout spots. Juan Ochoa wants hangouts. Holman Sanders. Yes. Okay. Yes. Social club sound good. I think
Abby Ferboto used to go in there. Not many people know about Abby. Abby was way back going with the Al Capone days. And when I met him, he was like blind. He had diabetes, so he had to have somebody bring him around. But I actually met him. He accepted envelopes for me.
What do you know about Al Capone?
Only what I read.
So there's no, I mean, you obviously weren't around, so that's kind of out. So Cindy, I don't know. I mean, because I know what I've read.
You know, if you really want to know about Al Capone, who's the guy, Johnny Russo? Johnny Russo.
Johnny will tell you all about it.
Yeah, he used to shave his father, you know.
Al Capone was his godfather, you know. Dazzling Urbanite, thank you very much for that contribution. It's very nice of you. Gene and Georgette, Cindy said, another restaurant. Van Pasterman. I missed one. Scott, I remember Betty Maltese, the mayor of Cicero, being in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
And before that, it was Christy Burkus.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, before he was mayor of Chicago, he was a town attorney when I lived there as a kid.
Right.
So, I mean, Cicero's been corrupt from day one. Since the 20s when they took it over, you know.
Right. Raph, I'm sorry if you're tuning in and you saw a video, but Frank passed away last August on the 20th of 2020. So sorry if you didn't know that. And but yes. So, and I just learned this too. Ernie Davino, who was one of the Hole in the Wall gang members who worked under with Frank, he passed away. He passed away exactly 15 days before Frank on August 5th. I just saw that somewhere, and I thought, that's a Southside Honky. Hey, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. So Don Berlin, all of the social clubs which are gone. Yeah, everybody thinks that the social clubs, Ricky Grand, even Studio One, Rush Street, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Slapsy Maxie, is Adam Flowers related to Waylon Flowers? No. And I'm not related to Brandon Flowers either from the Killers, just in case you're wondering. Although I was written about in a Vegas newspaper, and they called me Brandon Flowers instead of Adam Flowers. That was nice.
It's always nice. Like I always say, you never know how accurate the newspapers are until they write about you.
Yes, exactly.
Several times, people write something on paper and they say, that's not right.
Right. Exactly. Anyway, so looks like next week is going to be about restaurants in Chicago, hangouts, mob hangouts, restaurants, social clubs. We're going to center around that. So get your questions ready for next week at 2:00, because we're going to that's what we're going to be talking about.
And don't forget to hit that like. And if you're new, subscribe.
Please do hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And Philip Ross, did you know Tony Giancana?
No, I did not.
Raph, rest in peace. Thank you, Raph. Sorry that I had to share that with you. And Lisa Kettler, Dominic Montiglio passed away.
They're all passing away.
Who's Dominic Montiglio? Was that? All right. Anyway, Armand's Restaurant. Did you meet Joe the Builder?
Yes, one time. I met him over at the Spot with Joey Lombardo, and there was a lot of people there, though. Vince Solano was there. There were a lot of people there. A lot of muscle there, too.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, guys. Well, hey, it's been fun. It's been an awesome Wednesday with you guys. A Rednesday, another successful one. And hey, it's been fun, Red. Thank you very much for taking your time for an hour to come hang out and talk Chicago mob.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Adam.
It's always good to see you, my man. And
I like to see these people. They're very interesting. It's a fun show.
It is. I like doing this. I don't know. And everybody seems to have fun. And I've met a few more prescribers this week that happened to pop into Vegas and jumped on the mob tour. And in case you didn't know, it's reopened.
Yo, Bugsy, it says here they got something called the Vegas Mob Tour.
Yeah, Bobby, ain't you heard? It's all about our old friends Sam Giancana, Meyer Lansky, Mo Dalis, and of course yours truly, Bugsy Siegel.
Are you kidding? A mob tour about us?
Yeah, they take you to where we used to hang out and to all the places where we used to do our crimes.
You mean they expose all our secrets?
Yeah, but it's okay, because we ain't around anymore. So let's face it, we can't get busted.
Hey, you think we could sneak on board and check this out?
Of course we can. Forget about it. They'll never even know we're there.
Thanks guys for watching Mob Vlog this week. And what was that, Red?
When is Pam going to take your tour?
I don't know, Pam. When are you going to take the tour? All right, guys. Have a great day. It's been fun. Mob Vlog.